Hello, it is Flores. Thanks for joining us again and welcome back to our channel. If you are joining us for the first time, we want to thank you for watching. In this episode, I will be looking into some very important specifics with regards to how Africa assesses its global partners, looking at the United States of America, Europe, Russians, the Chinese, including Turkey, and also some very important partners in the Middle East as well.
The Western countries accuse China of using the Belt and Road Initiative to set up debt trap for African countries. What do you think?
The Western countries, they are the ones who made Africa have a debt trap. For more than 60 years since independence in Africa, no African country has made major progress in terms of economic development. But only in the last 40 years of China's development, we've made big strides because the market is wider. The participation of the African countries on the global stage is bigger. The footprint of Africa in the global stage is getting much and much more acceptable to the economic development in the world. So China has given us opportunities. It creates a very big volume of market for us to interact so that we can grow our economies together. No African country is under the burden of Chinese debt. The burden of debt in Africa is owed to the World Bank, to the Bretton Woods institutions of America, and to the IMF International Monetary Fund. But they want to accuse China. The debt with China is very little for Zimbabwe. We will grow our economic cake bigger, and the debt which the Western countries are talking about will be small and small and small as we begin to accumulate our own capacity to develop our economy. So we are not worried. We want more capital from China. The Western countries are jealous because capital from China is modernizing Africa. It is bringing Africans to the global economic stage, which they never did.
If you look at the continent of Africa, the United States is busy in the continent at the moment. However, again, China continues to prove to the African people that they are in the continent of Africa for the long run. What I mean by this is that China is currently doing business in Africa. The African people really want to see things with their own eyes. It might be a huge investment on paper, but the African people have gotten to a stage where they want to see roads, bridges, canals, airports, and a number of other huge investment, dams, call it whatever you think. This is what Africans want to see. They want to see bridges that take goods from the market to the hinterland, from the villages to the city. The transportation network should be improved. And why I'm talking about this is important that this is how some African leaders or African people will assess their relationship. I think the United States of America should rethink the strategy in the continent of Africa. China is way ahead. The Chinese have proven over and over again that Africa works. If you look at the recent project that China just completed across Ethiopia and Djibouti concerning the railway network there, with such a project, you realize that the Chinese know what the African people want. It seems as if the European Union and the United States of America are just fooling around. Let's play this clip and we will join you on the other side.
Dejan Gazu from Ethiopia was one of the earliest train engineers working on the Addis Ababa Djibouti railway. It spans more than 750 kilometers, starting in Addis Ababa and ending in Djibouti city.
How's everything? How's everything?
That's okay.
Okay, so when's the departure time?
So now it is 11:00. You know.
Okay.
Departure time.
Would you like to share us how you operated a train before departure?
Possible.
In 2018, Dejan joined the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, or CCECC, one of the Chinese companies that helped to build and run the railway. He had the opportunity to visit the Zhengzhou Railway Vocational and Technical College in central China's Henan province.
You were sent to China's Zhengzhou to be training how to operate a train. How was the experience?
Okay. You know, the training was so important. It was so crucial. We gained the handover experience there. You know, just the training has around 8 phases, such as classroom instruction, such as theoretical training, practical training, simultaneous training, safety, the route training or route operation, and there was an internship on the actual route. Yes, to practice how to operate the train. You know, during the internship period. You know, it was totally very important training in China.
As the first transnational standard gauge electrified railway in East Africa, the Addis Ababa Djibouti Railway went into commercial operation in 2018. Up to May this year, over 2,500 passenger trips and more than 7,000 cargo trips have run along the railway, generating a revenue of 10 billion birr or nearly $200 million. In the past 6 years, the CCECC has offered training opportunities to over 2,800 workers from both Ethiopia and Djibouti. The railway project has also helped over 55,000 people in the two countries find employment, according to the CCECC.
The speed is usually limited to 65 kilometers per hour. Definitely not that fast compared to the high-speed trains in China. But these trains do connect Ethiopia and Djibouti very well, promoting the transportation efficiency a lot.
This talk of that we are in the continent of Africa for investment and development and growth. There is nothing wrong to talk about democracy. However, the continent of Africa want to try new things. That's why we see activities happening in the Sahel. Like other experts will say, the mainstream media will play these particular activities going on in the Western African part of the continent as if it is something that is new. It is not new at all. These countries have tried their former colonial master, France, but it doesn't work. They have decided that they want to charter a new part in their history and to look for new partners that can share their vision. Remember, these countries have huge challenges, and they're looking for people who can support them with regards to not just the internal challenges that they do have, but other external issues. People from these countries also are eager to seek their full potential. Now, if you have been working with a particular nation that have been with you for hundreds of years and there is no development, there is no growth, then you really want to try a new partner.
Before China, nobody ever thought of Africa. Those who accuse China of a dirty trip, they are jealousy, they won't succeed, and they will not stop the shared development endeavor between Africa and China. It will not stop. We want more capital out of China. Before Africa, if you wanted capital, you go to Paris, it's expensive. You try to go to New York, it's even more expensive. You try to go to London, oh, it's through the roof. You can't even get capital. The cost is too high. Come China, the cost is low. It's good. We are also happy. Many other countries are becoming part of the global stage. But the country which has shown the way more than any other in the last 40 years is China.
It's very simple. The relationship is not working. You want to make sure that you put everything you could, and then if it doesn't work at all, then you look for something else. It's so simple. That's just how it works. These countries have decided that China to an extent, or Russia to an extent, including the European Union or Turkey, provide an alternative in a number of areas. I think that the game is on. Africa is not for the chicken-hearted. For those who feel you come to the continent and not engage the continent in a perspective that is a win-win situation, then that's not going to work. It's so simple. The message is clear. Let's roll the clip and we will join you on the other side.
Before the launch of the railway, it took from 3 days to a week for Ethiopians to transport cargo from Addis Ababa to Djibouti city, but now it only takes 20 hours. It's also helped Ethiopia promote its agricultural products worldwide by directly linking to the Djibouti port in the Gulf of Aden.
This railway just plays a significant role in reducing traffic congestion and environmental impact, enhancing in relation to just air, road, and other transportation system. You know, there is a lot of employees here in this company now. More than around 3,000 employees here. So the number of unemployment already reduced in some points, and also is very important in the economic development of our countries. It helps us to transport goods and peoples over a long distance from here to Djibouti and from Djibouti to here. It's very important.
The Addis Ababa Railway is more than just a modern transportation artery connecting Ethiopia and Djibouti. It also symbolizes the win-win cooperation between China and Africa under the Belt and Road Initiative. And with the successful operation of the railway, the collaboration between China and Africa in infrastructure has reached a new level. And this not only strengthens the relationship between China and Africa, but it also offers more opportunities for developing countries.
Now, let me tell you something. You cannot blame it anymore on Russia or China or other strategic partners. Every nation that is planning, or regions, I would say Europe, United States, Asian countries, or China, Russia, Middle Eastern partners who are aiming to engage the continent of Africa, you must come in ready. You don't have to come with chicken-hearted. Don't complain. Just engage. Africa have enough opportunities for every continent or every country to engage the continent. So this issue of blaming it on your geopolitical enemy or your partners that they are taking market share or they are in the continent as a result of engaging the countries that are your enemy, this is not going to work. Let's keep this conversation aside. Let's come in with our A game. Russians say they have security. They want to offer Africans security. The Chinese have come in over and over and say that they have the economic and put out the money from their pocket and engage Africa. The United States says they do have technology and they want to engage the continent of Africa. Bring it on. And the European Union says that they can work with everybody in the region. They don't want to specify their particular engagement, but they want to be everywhere. That's fine. But the notion that you are coming there and then calling names on other strategic partners that they are the ones who are engaging your other geopolitical partners, I think that toolbox is not going to work. Don't come to Africa to talk about Russians, China, the United States, or the European Union. Come to the continent, engage Africa, show what you got. Like I've said, Africans want to see things. They want to see visible things. Visible, to the point out. They want to see things. They want to see roads, machineries. They want to see action, creating jobs. That's what Africans are looking for. So remember, African countries have not said they want to work with a single country. They want to diversify their options. And that's what some African geopolitical partners don't want to live with. You got to live with that. That's the 21st century and the new multipolar environment that we all are living today. So this option of that, I want to work just with you, it's not going to work. Bring your A game to the continent and Africa will embrace you and do business with you. Africa is open for business. There is no complaint. Any country that comes to the continent and cannot succeed, that means you are not in the continent for a long run. Africa will be open for those who are coming there to invest for 5, 10, 20 years. That's what Africa is looking for. Not just come in today, after 6 months or 5 years, you want to go away or make some money. No, Africa will not serve you better. You need to come in, invest, put infrastructure, engage the continent, then the win-win part, then you begin to see your profits coming through. So this notion of that the continent of Africa cannot receive huge amount of investment, the Chinese have proven that the continent actually works and it works over and over. They're going to be reaping out their benefits. Africa will benefit from the infrastructure and everyone will be happy in the process. So this is how these things work. Let us know what you think with regards to Chinese investment in the continent of Africa, why China will continue to lead the region. For now, we are looking forward to meeting you soon in our next episode. Have a good day. Bye-bye.